We will now take a look at the key moves of TAEBAEK Poomsae. TAEBAEK Poomsae consists of 5 key moves, namely Poomsae sonnal-arae-Hecho-Makki, sonnal-opeo-japki, Kumkang bakkat-Makki, bakkat-Chigi, and deung-jumeok-Olgul. We will now take a closer look at each of the key moves of TAEBAEK Poomsae. When performing Poomsae sonnal-arae-Hecho-Makki, both hands should be placed in the center line of the thigh of the front leg. The back of your hands should each face outward, and the space between your hand and body should be about 1 hand's length sideways. Start in front of your chest and perform Hecho-Makki downward. When assuming postures where the legs are spread forwards and backwards like Poomsae and apgubi, the arm on the same side as the front foot should cross from the outside. For sonnal-opeo-japki, assume an opponent has hold of you. Twist the thumb of the hand being held outside. Then open your hand so the palm is seen from above. Raise your hand and pull it close to your body to release your wrist. Open your arm inside out and cover the back of the hand of your opponent. Hold, bend back, and pull. While bending and twisting, be careful not to let your elbow rise excessively or move outward, as you can only exert force effectively when the elbow is close to the torso. For Kumkang-momtong-Makki, start with 작은 dol-tzeogi and move together to the center line. This is a technique where the outer arm performs 얼굴-Makki and the inner arm performs 안팔목-bakkat-Makki at the same time. terang is a technique where you spin the thumb toward the inner wrist and release between an opponent's thumb and index finger. When performing 얼굴 bakkat-Chigi, strengthen the shoulder and shoulder blade by bending the elbow and utilize the torque of the torso. The elbow should face downward and the fist raised level with the temple. Be careful not to bend the elbow. These are the 5 key moves of TAEBAEK Poomsae. We will now look at the moves in succession connecting each move. The key moves of TAEBAEK first part consist of sonnal-arae-Hecho-Makki, 오른 앞차기, double-지르기, sonnal-arae-Hecho-Makki, 왼 앞차기, double-지르기, 제비품 안치기, 젖혀내며 왼 지르기, 젖혀들어 잡아 끌며 지르기, and sonnal-opeo-japki 지르기. When performing TAEBAEK's first move, sonnal-arae-Hecho-Makki, move your center to your right foot. Set your left foot to the left and assume the wen Poomsae posture. When blocking from the wen Poomsae posture, the left arm should cross on the outside. The apgubi should be performed forward in a straight line. The kicking foot is folded after the kick. The ball should touch the ground first. Then complete your breath and move the moment your heel touches the ground. When performing momtong double-지르기, the lower body should be planted firm to maintain balance. When performing 젖혀내기, pull the hand close to the body and release the wrist, or perform 지르기 by brushing aside and setting your right foot. chochonegi, and jirugi should be performed naturally in succession. Cautions for taebaek first part, taking a closer look. Be mindful of the inner and outer location of the arm when starting Hecho-Makki. During aptagi, with the upper body fixed in place, do not kick using only the legs. Be careful not to let the elbow open when performing jirugi. When performing japhin-anak-mok-ppaegi, do not twist the torso excessively and lose balance or swerve to the right. We will now practice the moves of taebaek first part in succession while watching the video. The key moves of taebaek's second part consist of Kumkang-momtong-Makki, 오른 당겨 지르기, 왼 지르기, 오른 작은 dol-tzeogi, 왼 옆차기 오른 팔꿈치 표적치기, Kumkang-momtong-Makki, 왼 당겨 지르기, 오른 지르기, 왼 작은 dol-tzeogi, and 오른 옆차기 왼 팔꿈치 표적치기. When performing 당겨 지르기, the hammer fist being pulled must not touch the front of the opposite shoulder. Pull the left foot to the inside of the right knee. Move your center to the right foot. Then complete 오른 hakdari sogi 오른 작은 dol-tzeogi. When performing 왼 옆차기 오른 팔굽 표적치기, leave the right fist on the back in the 작은 dol-tzeogi posture. The left fist should start from the waist and draw a circle inside out to perform the 옆차기. Your arms and legs should be parallel above and below. Cautions for taebaek second part, taking a closer look. When performing bakkat-Makki, do not block after crossing your arms. Be careful not to let the 당겨 지르기 become chijirugi. Do not perform jirugi while the opposite arm is fixed. When pulling the left foot from the 오른 뒷굽이 while performing 오른 작은 dol-tzeogi, be careful not to straighten the supporting right knee. It is important to maintain the same elevation. During 왼 옆차기 오른 팔꿈치 표적치기, do not perform 옆차기 by crossing your arms in front of your chest. We will now practice the moves of taebaek's second part in succession while watching the video. The key moves to taebaek's third part consist of 왼 sonnal-opeo-japki, 오른 손끝 세워 찌르기, 오른 hand 밑으로 베기, deung-jumeok-olgul, and 오른 찌르기. When performing 왼 sonnal-opeo-japki, the hand blade should be level with the solar plexus and the elbow should point downward. The elbow of the blocking arm should maintain 90 degrees to 120 degrees, and the assisting left hand should be level with the right elbow. Keep the left elbow close to the body, and leave one hand length between the outer wrist and torso. When performing 손끝 세워 찌르기, keep the index, middle, and ring finger in a straight line at the same length to prevent injuries. The force is concentrated in the tip of the hand with a small area of contact, making it effective in attacking the opponent's pressure points. When performing melambangkan, you must move and set the left foot to the left. Twist the body to the opposite direction of progress, then perform 왼 앞굽이. Place your left hand in front of the chest. Open your hand with a space of one raised fist. Open your right hand and pull the back of your hand to the right back. Ppaegi must be performed quickly. Use your arm and weight together to finish the move. Push off the ground with the left foot. Move your center to the right foot. Spin with the right ball as an axis. Then perform deung-jumeok bakkat-Chigi. Oren jirugi is performed with a shout. Perform nedikki with oren apgubi, following the previous oren dikgubi deung-jumeok-Chigi with no change in elevation. Cautions for TAEBAEK third part. Taking a closer look. When performing sonnal-opeo-Makki, the elbow should not move forward. If it does, the direction of the force will change. When performing sonnkut jirugi, be careful not to let the wrist bend. When performing memerintah, do not pull by merely changing directions. When performing deung-jumeok bakkat-Chigi, be careful not to let the wrist bend. We will now practice the moves of TAEBAEK third part in succession while watching the video. The key moves of TAEBAEK fourth part consist of oren kawi-Makki, oren aptagi, and double jirugi. Wen kawi-Makki, wen aptagi, and double jirugi. Kawi-Makki is a technique to perform are-Makki and bakkat-Makki simultaneously, but it can also be utilized as a more appropriate technique depending on the motion. Cautions for TAEBAEK fourth part. Taking a closer look. The basics of Kawi-Makki is to perform are-Makki with the left arm when the left foot is in front, and bakkat-Makki with the right arm. When performing aptagi, be careful not to let the kicking leg pass the supporting leg and do a folding kick. We will now practice the moves of TAEBAEK fourth part in succession while watching the video. This concludes the training for TAEBAEK Poomsae. We will take another look at all the moves and master Poomsae. We have looked at all the key moves of TAEBAEK Poomsae and provided thorough explanations for each move and things to watch out for. Continue with your training of TAEBAEK, which seeks to light the world, and let the light abide in your body and mind as well. We will see you again in the Pyeongwon Poomsae video. Thanks for watching.